Well, good morning to you all, good morning. It's Friday the 26th of April 2024, and yeah, that is going to take a little bit more than just squidging some ragrayage on it. That's going to have to be rebuilt with show. Yeah, well, gives me something to do, doesn't it? When it lightens up a bit. Well, it wasn't too cold this morning, but if you've got a pile of pallet wood, why not boil the kettle using it? See, some of you install very complex and complicated solar array panels to generate electricity to boil your kettles. I just burn old pallets. Come to that, I use old pallet wood for all sorts of things. Yeah, always good to have scrap timber about. Well, I've got up and done a little bit, but the weather forecast and the feel of the weather, I don't think it's a good idea to carry on with this kind of outdoor work. It's never a huge problem here because there's always something else that can be done. You know, there's grass needs cutting, there's weeds need pulling, there's things that need planting, so we're going to abandon ragrayage for today. And I don't know, I don't fully understand some of these things like ragrayage, and some of you may not entirely get the idea of it, but the problem with limestone is actually not a particularly good building material. You know, people used it because it's what they had, but it suffers with the weather. You know, it washes away with the acid rain, it might get damp and frosted and bits split out of it. So if you build a building with limestone and do nothing with it, sooner or later it's just going to disappear. You just won't have a building, you'll have basically a pile of limestone dust. So it needs something doing to it, and I suspect it's one of those permanent, you know, like painting the Forth Road Bridge, Forth Rail Bridge. Those of you that know what I'm talking about. I guess that you need to keep doing it. As long as it lasts 10 years, I'll be happy with that, I think. You know, I'm not making too many plans for longer than 10 years. So, ragrayage is not just cosmetic, although it does quite a nice cosmetic effect. It is about protecting the stone. You know, I'm not a believer in cosmetics, you know, and I know some of you find that hard to believe because, you know, how can I possibly look this good if I don't use cosmetics? Look at that, see, weeds managed to grow faster than what you wanted to grow. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do next, I'm going to get the lawnmower out and have a quick run round before it rains. I think that's the plan. Now, the other day I said I was going to rip out this redundant telephone wire, and I am. You know, when a man says he's going to do something, there's no need to remind him every 6 months, is there? Yeah, and I've just discovered, apart from that snail that's sort of inhabiting the place and the spiders, I've discovered something that's actually rather irritating. Yeah, when they put the new fibre in, instead of nipping out the old wire, they've hot glued the new fibre to the old wire. Just can't get the staff, can you? Right, well that's disinstalled that little box. I've pulled the wire through. Where are we? There we are. I've taken the wire out. Got to take those clips out. I've pulled it through where it went through up there. I've even pulled it off where it went all the way along there, and I've cut it off close to the box. And the chaps from the telephone company said, just throw it away. We don't want it, just throw it away, they said. Okay, right, well that gives me a clear run to treat that lintel without having that wire in the way. There's a little bit of repair work needed. I think that wants just a bit of sand and cement pushing in before I get carried away with the ragrayage. Yeah, anyway, I'm sort of pleased. That's progress. That's progress. Yeah, and I've thrown away all the stuff they told me to throw away. That's always good. Well, this being a strange sort of rain, which looks rather more like sunshine, I did just get the next one of those dollied up with some ragrayage. Yeah, I do think we are going to get some rain, but not for a while. And this is my priority, getting this all pretty. Well, lunch has been had, work has been done, some weeding has been done, some gardening, bits and pieces, but after lunch shouldn't do anything heavy. So I've found my iron, I know where my electrical solder is. I really ought to do some track wiring. If only I had some old telephone cable.